as you can see, I'm just trying to create this cube, and I'm having these lines go parallel to this section. And then as it comes to the right-hand side, I'm trying to do the same thing. See if I can't put them lines going parallel to each other. Let them get further apart as they go to show some difference in the light. And then up at the top, you can see just from the back, just kind of taking that line, putting a couple next to it, and then letting the distance between them get a little farther apart and stretching it across. So far you can see that section. To get this side darker, I'm going to put another layer of these lines, just a little bit, just to show it to you. Building this part. And then go vertical with it. So I'm cross-hatching these lines and just start from the top, work your way down. And you'll feel the paper, and you can push as hard as you want. You're trying to get these lines. I'm going a little bit light to get that line. And then looking at this shade, you can see how the shadow is a little darker here, so I'm going to do the same idea. I'm going to create some vertical lines, so you have 3 sets of parallel lines to make this cube. And building that up just like that. Now at this point, I'm going to take a look. It has a cast shadow, so I'm going to kind of build it up a little bit more. And I can go through another pass with this pen to darken it. It doesn't have to go all the way to the end because it's a section of reflected light we talk about. And building it vertical. So the pen, as opposed to drawing this with pencil, is a little forcing you with a more of a graphic media of the pen, so it keeps it pretty structural. And so that's the dark side. Same with this upper corner here. I'm going to do it one more time just to kind of show that gradation of the tone. And this is very similar how an illustration on a computer is shading with these gradients. Just trying to simulate that. So you're trying to build up this section here. And at the back end, you can see every line, every shape that I make is actually repeating itself. Then when you take a look at the darkest value, you can keep adding another layer of this. And that builds it down here. And then the cast shadow, when you take a look at it, these are all going to be parallel lines again, just kind of extending them from each corner of this box. The only one that you can't see is the one that's hidden, so you have to kind of imagine the distance by lining these 2 sections up to stick it out there. And then that part's going to be the part that you come back to the little corner. And this same idea, you can keep the lines parallel. Just the closer they are, the darker it's going to appear. And the further apart, the lighter it gets. And this part, I'm just kind of letting it blend into the original drawing there. And the part that's closest to you in the foreground has the most value contrast. It gets dark, but as it goes away from the edges, it softens up. And I can do right where the box kind of touches the table in the drawing. I'm just going to add another crosshatch, but with the same angle as the base of this shape. And that's the piece. And then as you take a look at your entire drawing, you can look back and see what needs to be made darker or a little bit lighter. And all made with just some straight line segments, trying to keep them in this, what they call isometric, but it simulates perspective drawing. And builds that part up. becomes your first sketch there.